Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to the PrimeStar Home Health Coaches Show with head coach Lee Doty. I'm Ben Hackler here with Coach Doty tonight. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great. Appreciate you having me.
Well, Coach, let's kick off this week like we have each week with our senior spotlight brought to us by McDonald's and Miss Jennifer Thomas. Coach, who are your seniors this week that will also serve as our Friday night team captains?
Tonight we got Dylan Underwood and Braden Bonner. And these guys will our senior spotlight and will also serve as captains this week. Get them guys up here. Appreciate Miss Thomas for making all this happen. And they both been with me for 4 years here. And, they great student athletes. And Dylan's been playing a long time for us and played a lot as a freshman, been a 3-year starter. And Braden's been one of those guys that's been in the program and has worked his way up and got some playing time. And, we're just proud of both of them. Folks have done a good job of raising them, yes sir, no sir type people. And they are very good in the community, and we're just proud to have them with us. So these guys will be our captains this week, and let's give them a hand.
Congratulations, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, congratulations. Again, each week our senior spotlight is brought to you by McDonald's. Well, Coach, let's talk a little football. Friday night, big win as you start district play, 46-6. And before we get into specifics, Coach, what you learned about your team Friday night?
Well, we're very coachable at halftime. We've done a really good job the past several weeks of, going in at halftime and making adjustments, and our kids coming out and executing the adjustments we made. So, we're also in pretty good shape, I thought, because even though the weather was nice, it was kind of a muggy night, and I thought we were in a lot better condition than Carroll was, and I think that really kind of showed in the middle of the third quarter on. So, our kids are not going to quit fighting just because things are not going the way they expect them to early.
Yeah, because let's talk about that just for a moment. Offensively, the first half, really kind of a sluggish start. And I say that, at least the scoreboard reflected a sluggish start. I think you still rushed for 172 yards in that first half. Turnovers kind of became a problem there in the first half, but you guys cleaned that up. What did you see as the biggest challenge for your offense in that first half?
Just finishing drives. We didn't do a very good job of finishing drives. We didn't do a very good job of protecting the ball. But, I told them at halftime that adversity, it presents opportunities. So we'll take advantage of the opportunity that adversity has given us right here. So, I tell them a lot of times that football mimics life. You're going to have adversity in life and everything you do. And, I've given some of my personal things, I wake up sometimes in the morning and, adversity hits me right in the mouth, and you got to move on. You got to handle things then. And so we got hit in the mouth, I think, Friday night, and gave us some adversity and presented the opportunity to correct ourselves, and that's what we did.
We'll go to the first half scoreboard. Of course, Copeland gets another touchdown on a big fullback run, and then you added 2 more field goals from Aiden Parker. That special teams thing, we'll talk some more about that, I'm sure, in a moment, but that really is beginning to be a key part of your game.
Well, it is what we thought it was going to be, and hoped it would be. And Aiden's done a really good job of working hard this off season. And, everything was good on the extra points. We have a very good holder.
Yes.
He does a great job, and Landon does a good job on snaps. But if it's not exactly where it needs to be, Carter does a good job of getting it down, and Aiden's hitting it really well right now. And I think he what was the yardage on him? 41 maybe. And,
right, almost 41.
But I mean, the 41 would have been good from 51 easy. 42. It would have been good from
I knew that he would know, Coach.
Still would have been good from 51. But he's hitting it good, and things are looking good, and we played really good on special teams the other night.
Yeah, and Coach, you mentioned Carter Morris. Really, and we've talked about Carter being a 4-year guy and really consistent. But I think sometimes the field goal kicking, especially the holder, gets kind of overlooked. But that's a huge part to everything going right. And you're right, he has done a great job of handling snaps wherever they're at and getting them down. Well, Coach, offensively, second half, really a different story. You guys are able to put up some yards, get short fields, and we'll talk about your defense in just a moment. I want to highlight some of those guys. But in the second half, offensively, you had several guys step up. Of course, I think T.J. Birch kind of gets his name goes out there, 4 touchdowns in the second half. And how good was it to see a young guy like that step up and get some carries and then even in the end zone?
That's great. T.J. works hard in practice, and he's a good young man, and it was really good to see him have some success early. Since I've been here, we haven't had a freshman rush for 4 touchdowns. I mean, it may have happened at one time, I'm sure, but since I've been here as first freshman, we've had this rush for 4 touchdowns, especially in one half. So, yeah, it was fun to watch him play. And, he gets a lot of carries in the JV games, and he gets carries on Friday night. So he's getting seasoned up pretty good right now.
Yeah. Well, of course, that gives you a third fullback who, as everybody gets healthy, you're going to have a third fullback to sit in that rotation. That's got to look good for you going down the road.
Yeah, it's no doubt. We talked about having 2 good fullbacks. If we get Gavin back to 100%, then TJ brings just, a little bit of some toughness to it and mentality. He's not going to get tackled. So, we got to get him to secure the ball a little bit better than we have the past couple of games. But that's going to come. The will to win is in him. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, Coach, let's talk about your defense, especially coming off of the Oak Grove game when you gave up the 35 points. This week, defense came out kind of with a chip on their shoulder. That first half, you gave up 16 yards rushing and 56 yards passing. And I think on that 56, one of those was a 34-yard reception and only 2 first downs. What enabled that defense to have so much success early?
Well, we just pinned our ears back and got after it. I think our secondary play is good enough that we can take chances up front and do some things. And, I told you going in, the secondary was what I was concerned about, but they're playing really, really good right now. And, being able to take a lot more chances because of their play is helping us up front. And our front 7, we knew they were pretty good. And, but they played really, really well the other night, tackled really good. Carroll has the South Carolina committed out at receiver. We did a good job of limiting him. Matter of fact, I'm not sure he had anything positive against our first group, but maybe he did. But
that one catch, I think, was
and then
late in the first half.
And then we had shut down their running game. They just couldn't run the ball on us. So, but I thought it played really well.
Yeah, well, Coach, second half really that bore it out. They finished the night with 34 yards rushing. And I think it was like 83 yards passing. So right at 120 yards on the night. And they really struggled. Carroll struggled to get anything going. You guys pinning your ear back, coming after them. You were able to
Choose PrimeStar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one, from managing chronic conditions to...
There was a lot of things from last year that carried over for our guys. They didn't really like the way things went last year and after the game, some of the things. And so we did go down there with a chip on our shoulder. We kind of got, there's some messages sent via somebody else. And, sometimes you just don't need to poke the bear.
Because you kept them out of the end zone. The only points Carroll got all night long, of course, on the scoop and score on the fumble in the first half. Defensively pitched the shutout, and it seems like a really good way to start your district play going forward. But I do want to talk special teams just for a moment before we go to break. Coach, the special teams, we talked about Aiden's 2 field goals, all the extra points that you were able to hit. But one element of the game that we had not seen that you kind of were able to capitalize on and to show some things was in the kicking game. And you got a squib back that reminded me of the old movie Waterboy, where you kind of bounce it right off of somebody, comes right back to you, and then a really good onside kick that you were able to recover. As you guys have worked on those things, what is the importance of solid special teams play, and then even being able to gain some possessions back when you need to?
Well, you got to be willing to call them. Even the fake punch. You got to be willing to call those things and trust your guys. And we worked on it, and those things are fun to work on, and they're fun to call in the game. You just got to have the courage to call them, and it was just the right times to call them, and just good for our guys that they're going out there and executing what they've been practicing.
Coach, you mentioned the fake punt, and you and I talked briefly after the game about that. And we joked in here last week about Trey getting a carry. Old Jackson King was like, "No, beast mode's mine." But now I'm thinking, you've seen Trey run. I mean, we're going to see some more beast mode maybe in the future featuring another Birch.
Can you go like a beast mode split back veer look?
Oh, now we're talking, Coach. I like a little creativity.
I know that you'd love that.
A little wrinkle in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
So when it happens, I can say, Coach Doty told me this time. Well, Coach, let's talk about players of the game. Each week, players of the game brought to you by First Security Title of Monroe and Mr. Mitch Houston. Coach, who are your players of the game this week?
Well, special teams, we went with Aiden Parker. Aiden, come on up. Aiden had a good night, like you talked about. Come on in here. He had a good night. He's had several good nights, and he's worked hard, man, and we're very proud of him. And look, if special teams is good, we're going to be good. And he's done a good job. Very proud of him. And Aiden Parker's our special teams player of the week. Thank you, Aiden.
Congratulations.
Offense, we got Michael Bozeman. Well, I asked the offensive staff about players of the week. Everybody talked about how Bozy played really well, graded out at 86%, got after them guys pretty good. We play. We like to have a center who can get up on backers, backside, front side, and he did a good job of that. And we're very proud of him. And he's our offensive player of the week, Michael Bozeman.
Congratulations, Bozeman.
And our defensive player is Braden Bonner. And Braden had a big interception for us the other night. And, I think every time he gets in a game, he gets an interception. And we kind of joked around. He also he's batting 750 in baseball. So every time every 4 at bats, he gets a hit 3 times. So we thought it'd be great to give him the defensive player of the week. And our kids were excited when we named him that. And very proud of him. And good job, bud. And we're going to get you in and see if we can't keep that streak going this week. Right. So our defensive player of the week is Braden Bonner.
Congratulations, Braden. All right, folks, that's our Players of the Week. Again, brought to you by First Security Title of Monroe and Mr. Mitch Houston. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break and be right back with more of the Coach Lee Doty Show in just a moment.
Choose PrimeStar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. PrimeStar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose PrimeStar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. PrimeStar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care.
Benoit Ford Chevrolet GMC in Farmerville is here to serve you and your family just like you are a part of ours. With 2 dealerships for you to find the perfect vehicle, Benoit is proud to offer great deals right here in the heart of North Louisiana. 206 South Main Street and 1001 Sterlington Highway in Farmerville, going the extra mile to offer you the best options for your vehicle needs? That's what we do. Stop by and join the Benoit family in your new vehicle from Benoit Ford Chevrolet GMC today.
Thanks, Coach Doty. Hi, I'm Ashley Dowdy with Homeland Bank. We believe that investing in our schools and local teams means investing in our future. We're committed to creating endless possibilities both on and off the field. Together we can build a brighter tomorrow.
Homeland Bank and the Sterlington Panthers. Together we can build a winning team. Where's your money?
Homeland Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Copeland Electric Company, providing excellence in electrical services since 1971. Their secret? Copeland has the manpower, resources, and knowledge to assemble and mobilize teams quickly and efficiently. Go Panthers from Copeland Electric!
Well, folks, welcome back to the PrimeStar Home Health Coaches Show with Coach Lee Doty. As we begin this second segment, I'm excited to have tonight Miss Anna Wigley, our head athletic trainer, and one of her student trainers. And Anna, I'm going to let you introduce the one in the middle.
All right. This is Abby Hackler, his daughter. She is my only senior this year, and she's been working with me all 4 years that I've been here. So pretty special to have her.
Yep. Anna's in her 4th season, and Anna, of course, serves as our head athletic trainer. And so, Anna, I know a lot of folks, they see you on the sidelines running around. When somebody falls on the field, you're the first one to sprint out there usually. Hey, just give everybody kind of an overview. And I know that a quick overview, let's try it this way, just of kind of what some of the duties are that you take care of each and every week, not just on Friday night.
going through the week, a lot of it is treatment of injuries or aches and pains they have from the game prior or from practice. I joke with them a lot, tell them I'm a glorified listener to whining. They don't like that very much, but just taking care of them, making sure they're ready to go for the next game that we have coming up, and just hoping they make it through the practices of the week.
Yeah, and Anna, what time does your day begin? So let's just talk Monday to Friday. What time do you begin your day? Like you get there at 10 a.m., right? And then roll into the –
I wish. No, I get there about 7 a.m. usually because, I mean, they're not going to show up for treatment until 7:15. So I get there about 7, and I teach about 4 classes a day and get down to the field house about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Start getting ready eat my lunch quickly, and they know that's my quiet time. Don't come in my office while I'm eating. But shortly after that, we start getting ready for practice just to kick it off at about 2.
Yeah. Well, and I know it's a long grind, especially not just during football season. You serve in all the other sports as well and different elements. So talk to us a little bit about just the grind of that. You're not an old person yet, right? You're still –
I feel like it.
Well, the field house that you're in will do that to you without a doubt.
Yeah.
But talk to us about just the grind of that. How do you adjust and how do you try to balance just life and work? Because you're there at 7, you're not getting home, I would imagine, until 10, 11 o'clock some nights. Yeah. So how are you learning just to balance some of those things?
I think Coach Doty can testify the first couple of years, not too well. But since I've gone, farther into it, I think the main thing is taking advantage of that time when I do have time off, going home on the weekends after treatment and resting. I don't get out a whole lot after I go home. I go home and I rest and trying to get to bed early so I can wake up early the next morning. Just taking advantage of that time I have to rest to prepare myself. And, I'm getting old. It feels like it. So my body hurts. My body hurts. So just trying to listen to my body and rest when I need to so I can be ready to get back out there with them the next time we got to go.
Well, probably one of the questions I want to ask you the most, and I wasn't – we'll just see how this goes. So you are the only adult female. Now, I wasn't going to say only female, the only adult female in that field house week in and week out.
Yeah.
What's that like? And this is a family show, so just
tell
us some things you've learned.
I don't think I can say anything that I've learned down there. It's nice. I'm not gonna lie. I always tell the girls, "Oh, don't do that. The boys will do it." We'll get the boys to lift that, or the coaches will come down there if they see me doing something. Coach will be like, "Anna, don't do that. The boys will do it." So it is nice to kind of be. I don't want to say babied, but sometimes it makes life a little bit easier. And then sometimes I kind of go, I don't know if I want to hear this. I'm going to go in the other room.
Okay. Yeah, I'd imagine there's a few of those moments.
Yeah.
Well, Anna, one of the other roles that you have, you mentioned the teaching the classes you do. We've got Abby here as one of your student trainers. You got several more of your student trainers are here with you. And so you have to lead that team each and every year. What do you try to do with those girls? Like, what are their roles on a game day?
These girls are a huge part of what I do and to help it run successfully. They are in charge of the water for practices, Gatorade, prepping the field for game days and practices. They look for things that I might be missing if someone comes off the field to the sidelines needing something, and I'm, trying to keep an eye on the live ball and what's going on, then they'll come let me know. They're kind of my eyes and ears around the place and making sure everything runs smoothly. So my goal for having this program is to introduce them to sports medicine and athletic training and what it is, because that's how I got into it, was in high school. And hoping that they kind of see, it's a lot. They work hard and it's hot, especially this year. It's been ridiculous. But it's worth it. If you see the reward of, being able to get an athlete back to what they're doing or spending time with these guys. I mean, they're great guys. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to be around every day. So just the reward of the job in general, and hoping to maybe light a passion for one of them and see that, this is a cool job to have.
No pressure, Abby. She looked at you.
I'm holding out for you.
Yeah. Well, look, I know you do a great job with them. And even this summer, you mentioned the heat that you guys dealt with, and your girls showed up day in and day out. They didn't have to wear the pads, but did a lot of the work, making sure those guys stayed hydrated. Yeah. And I know it's been a good program. How many girls, or it's not just girls, you've got some guys in your program too, right? Or you have
Not
before?
this year.
Not
I have
this year.
before. This year, I think I have all girls.
Yeah. So how many of those do you oversee in the school year? Do you remember? I don't know the answer to that question either.
It ranges anywhere from I may have 10 on a regular basis show up. I may have 10 to 20 every year that say they want to do it, but about 8 to 10 show up on a consistent basis.
On the grind. There we go.
But I carry about seven to games with us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know it's been a good thing for those girls, a good thing for you, and I know that the guys. I can speak on their behalf, right, fellas? The girls do a good job, and grateful for you and your leadership on the field, and looking forward to just seeing how that program continues to grow, and hopefully we will put some more kids into sports medicine in the future. I know it's a needed field. Can you speak to that just for a second? Like, what have you seen? And you've been in it for 4 years. As you look around at local high schools, what is the need for athletic trainers?
It's a lot. I think a lot of places don't realize the value of having somebody at the school that can kind of be, a first resource for them, but also a stepping stone to the next part of the treatment. I treat them in-house if I can, if it's something that I feel like they might need to be seen about or something I can't handle or take care of. I have, our orthopedic doctors here in the area that I can contact their personal phones and say, hey, I've got this athlete going on. Can you see him this week? And usually I can get them squeezed in quicker than if, the parent was to call the clinic and try to get him in. So I think it's important to have, and a lot of smaller schools or rural schools don't have athletic trainers just because of either lack of, budget or resources to have those athletic trainers. And you definitely see the need, they get by, but I think it's important to have for these young athletes, they got to have somebody to take care of them. Absolutely. That, cares about them.
Yep. Well, Anna, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you and your girls, and just look forward to the rest of the year. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Let's hear it for Miss Anna Wigley. All right. Well, folks, while Coach Doty is coming back, I'm going to go ahead and get you set. This Friday night will be homecoming, and we'll be lots of folks in the stands, alumni and folks coming back for this week's game. And a game will be against the Richwood Rams, a district foe. And we'll get set for 7 o'clock kickoff. Of course, you'll be able to catch the live stream and all that right here on shspantherfootball.com. Well, Coach, welcome back. Did you get a good break right there? Good 10 minutes?
Yeah, Anna did a great job, by the way. And but let me tell you a little bit more about what she does. I mean, she kind of just hit on the things. But this summer in August and even into September was the hottest, it's been since I've been coaching, I guess. I can't remember it being hotter. And, these ladies, they did everything, making sure that we were taken care of. And, she's got the ultimate authority about shutting practice down when the heat's too hot, and she kept me informed about things. And, we talked about things. We set up practice, and then we'd have to move practice. So we always try to have two plans. And but it's nice to have someone that you can go in and say, look, what about today? What we're looking like. Or look, Wactor's got a shoulder that's bothering him, and I don't like the way he's holding it. Can we get him in to see somebody today? And being able to have that, basically a lifeline, to the medical field is awesome. And, I know that we're working in the LHSA and with some other people and our senators and those type of things of trying to make sure that we get enough people in this field that we can get at least one trainer in every school district. And hopefully at some point in time, we have one certified athletic trainer at every high school in Louisiana, because you don't want to lose a kid because you don't have a medical professional. And so anyway, they do a great job, and we appreciate her so much.
Yeah, Coach, one thing is you say that, I just make sure folks understand, it's not even just your athletes that she sees. I know there's even some middle school kids from time to time that Coach Magoo is able to lean on to Anna and to have some kids looked at. That she's just a resource for the whole district. Right,
no doubt. And, we're very lucky. We got good athletic trainers in our school district, good one at every high school here. So, very fortunate to have them for sure.
Well, Coach, let's talk about this Friday night. Of course, it's homecoming, and there'll be a lot of folks there. I know you made available on social media yesterday that half-price tickets through tomorrow. The folks want those tickets, they can come by for $5. And I just want to see a good representation at homecoming in our stadium and a good crowd, which we usually have, but even more so here for homecoming and all the festivities that go around that. Coach, before we talk the football part, how are you handling all the homecoming stuff this week? I know you got dress-up days and we've got presentations and stuff on Thursday night. How do you handle kind of all the things that go along with homecoming?
Well, let me address the ticket situation real quick. You know, we're trying to fill it up Friday. I've had a bunch of people tell me, we got big bleachers. Our bleachers are the same size as the 5A schools around here. And I've had people tell me, they haven't been filled during a regular season game very often. And that's what I'm trying to challenge everybody to do is pack that thing out Friday night, and that's why we're offering tickets the way we are. And it would be awesome to pack our stadium Friday night. Let's do it sometimes when it's not a semifinal game,
Right.
Let's do it for homecoming. And I'm excited about challenging people, and hopefully we'll have a big crowd. Now, what was the question?
Talking about the homecoming festivities. Just how do you handle all that stuff and practice and get ready for Friday night?
Well, we talked about yesterday, and we said, Friday night there's a football game, and they're also having homecoming. But if you take the football game Friday night, what happens? Do they still come and walk? Do they still crown the queen? Do they do that? Because I don't think they do. So to me, we're trying to make the main thing the main thing.
Right.
And the main thing is still playing football. And that's for us now. And so we talked about it a little bit. Our kids have done a great job in the past couple of years about having fun, but still being, when you come outside and we get on the field, it's 3:05. It's time to focus and practice. And I want them to have fun because you only get to do this once. So just have fun, but just, we still got a job to do.
Well, Coach Richwood comes in. Of course, they're coming off a loss last week against North Webster, 28-6. And Coach John S. has departed, headed down to Mangum. So a new head coach there. And it seems like they're in a little bit of a rebuilding year. But as always, they've got some good players in different spots on the field and on both sides of the football. So let's just talk about their offense for a moment. Again, another spread team. What do you see from them offensively?
They got some young guys up front. I think they replaced 4 out of 5 starters from last year's team, which was pretty good, by the way. And they just got some young guys, and they're going to learn and get better week to week. They're big, good-looking guys. They do a good job of scheming everything up, and they got some guys who can run. I've always really loved to watch their tailback. The young bowling ball is what I call him. And he's hard to tackle. He runs really hard, and but they got some guys that scare you out there, so we're going to have to play well on defense, line up right, and get after it.
Well, Coach, defensively from them, again, they got some kids going both ways. Their numbers probably aren't as large as what we've seen in the past. I think they've got right around 30, 35 players, if I saw right on film. But defensively, what do you see from their defense, and what challenge does that present to the offense that we'll try to run Friday night?
Well, Bakari Geis is their head coach, and he was their defensive coordinator last year. And I thought he did a good job against us last year scheming. And I think he's a good football coach. He was been several different places, and I think he's going to do a great job. And so we may get a lot of the same looks we got last year from him, or he may try to copy some of the things that people have done this year to have some success. So until we get into about a half a quarter football, you don't really know what you're going to get. And that's kind of what happened last week with Carroll. You just don't really know how they're going to line up until they line up. So, but he does a good job, and we're going to have to play to win the football game. We just can't show up and have Sterlington across our chest and expect to win.
Well, Coach, as you look at your team going into Friday night, what are some of the keys that you focused on this week? Hey, we want to clean this up from last week and make sure we do this so that we like the result when the game's over with.
Yeah, the fumbles are still bothersome, no doubt. But, we're way ahead of where we were last year with that. But we got to clean that up. We missed some blocks last week that should have sprung us. We missed some cuts with our running backs that should have scored. We're sitting there thinking at halftime, in my mind, we should be talking about getting the younger guys ready to play, and we're in a war. And so we got to clean that up. But all in all, I think we're getting better week by week, when we talk about stacking those games, and just like bricks, just get higher and higher. And, we we talk about going from average to good and then from good to great. And, you know, we're still teetering on that right now to get to good, I think. And that's okay. It's only week 5.
Right.
You know, you don't want to peak too soon. So, but yeah, I'm really happy where our kids are. And look, I'm going to tell you, our kids really like each other.
Yeah.
You know, and they have a good time. They root for each other. They're happy for each other. We got a good coaching staff in our building. And, you know, we got all the ingredients if we can stay healthy to make a heavy run this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, best of luck this Friday night as you guys continue district play and homecoming, the big crowd. Folks, I'll make sure that you're there. Do what you can to get in the stadium. And if you can't, we'll have the live stream for you at 7 o'clock. Actually, 6:15, the coaches show will replay. And then about 6:45, myself and William Handy will get you set for kickoff, 7 o'clock kickoff. And also check out the highlight videos, hype videos, game replays, and all of that at shspantherfootball.com. Coach, final words for our fans that are here and watching tonight?
Well, just say, you know, come get your ticket. If you got season tickets, come get a $5 ticket tomorrow. Bring a friend, bring 2 friends, and let's pack that thing out Friday night. You know, fill it up Friday, and let's show everybody that we can do it during the regular season. You know, I challenge all of you to do that. And but anyway, man, I know we're going to do our part, and our guys will be ready to play, and appreciate you having me. And as always, go Panthers.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the Coaches Show tonight, brought to you again by PrimeStar Home Health. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you Friday night at Panther Stadium, 7 o'clock.
Choose PrimeStar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. PrimeStar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose PrimeStar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. PrimeStar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care.